to move forward in the process of truth and reconciliation. So without further ado, Charles Wood.
Thank you, Lance. For those of you that were here last night and at the Monarch, forgive me if I repeat myself. But anyway, I'd like to first of all thank the Creator for allowing us to see yet another day, and thank to each and every one of you for coming out to support this event. And I thank the elders that did the prayer for us and the drumming group. What I wanted to share with you this evening is going to be very short and brief in the subject matter of truth and reconciliation. I've been working on it, for a good many years now. To be honest, I think I've been at it for the last 68 years. 68 years. I was 9 years old when I was brought into the residential school. So it's taken that long and I'm still working at it. And the purpose of my journey is to try and pass on the message that we are one. All of us. We're all related. Regardless of what ethnic group we belong to, regardless of whatever language that we belong to, especially in this country. Sometimes, when I say this, people are somewhat astonished and maybe offended. Every living person living in Canada is a treaty person. But suffice to say, as I stated last night, some of the treaty people are beneficiary a lot more than the rest. And the least beneficiary of those people are the First Nations, the Indigenous people. I have heard comments like, the Indigenous people, the Cree people, they get, and all the First Nations people, they get everything for nothing. Well, it's just a matter of opinion and understanding and interpretation. We would offer that when people tell me, you don't pay taxes, I said, excuse me, I said, in our understanding and interpretation, I believe that we are the biggest taxpayer in this whole country. By virtue of the natural resources that you benefit from, the oil, the water, and all the other God-given things. Those belong to our people. They were not given up, they were not sold. That's our contribution to the great country of Canada. So, some of the things that we have been exposed to, like the residential school thing, and when you start to receive information and understand it a little bit more, you begin to wonder why did it happen. And I think that the long and short of it, the visitors into this land, they came from a material society and they came into a society of spirituality. And their world was to have wealth, and they coveted the land. They coveted the land. So, the makeup of the history of this country, to be honest about it, that's what it's all about. On the other hand, by virtue of treaty, our people, agreed to share the land. It wasn't theirs to give. They didn't own it. And to this day, you won't find any practicing elder that will say that we own the land. No, we don't. We belong to the land. The land doesn't belong to us. So that's a different concept of looking at things. And I make mention of that because in in the work that we do, we think that there's a tremendous amount of injustice that is being done to our young people, all young people in this country. I don't think that we teach them the truth. I'm holding this eagle feathers so I speak the truth in what I have learned over the years. We need to take a look at the education system, Blake. What are we teaching the young people? Certainly when I meet universities, and I've worked with quite a few of them thus far, I tell them that you do one heck of a job in training the young people how to get along in the material world. But you are missing a major component of humanity. You should be teaching the young people how to, become better human beings. And I think this is where we fall as a people. You hear about, the shootings in the universities and the high school, and even now, in elementary schools. What's happening? I think that we need to take a look at what we're teaching our young people. And that education starts in the home. In our walk, and talking with Winston, they're doing the same thing. We're trying to convince our young people the art and to relearn the art and science of parenting, because we have lost so much by virtue of the residential school. We have to unlearn what we have learned and to relearn what we have lost. And that's what this process of reconciliation is all about. I went into a Catholic residential school, and out of the blue I got invited by the United Church of Canada to help them in their reconciliation work, and I've been with them now for the last, 9-10 years. I think we're doing some wonderful things. And I'm very happy to be here tonight because I think that little by little, this development of relationship, reconciliation is starting to build up momentum. We spent about the last 4 or 5 years with the city of Red Deer, Mayor Morris Llewellyn, his council, and their administration, even the county of Red Deer, to bring people together. And why we concentrated in that area was there's an abandoned industrial school there's an abandoned cemetery, and we reclaimed that on behalf of our ancestors. And now, what the city of Red Deer has done is they have acknowledged an Indigenous Day, June 11th, every year they're going to commemorate and celebrate their relationship with the First Nations of this country. And in the museum, they have expanded on their display of their knowledge and understanding of the Indigenous people. Even in the provincial park, they've done that. And I would invite, Medicine Hat, to do the same thing. I'm enthused by the recent announcement of the provincial government who have stated that they are going to make an effort to teach about the impact of residential school in mainstream curricula, and also to teach about treaties. But I have a little bit of a concern. And the concern that I have is whose understanding and interpretation of those two major items that are going to be taught to the young people. And I think that the Indigenous people have to be at that table in the formulation and the bringing together of the curricula. It's a little bit tough sell right now with the provincial authorities, and I'm talking to Blake here. He'll be my messenger for coming here tonight. So, and I think that's what it's all about. And I would invite you that whatever happens in Las Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, this happened in Canada, so we have to, it stays here, and we have to work together collectively. In the Cree language, and I know that there's a word for it in the Blackfoot language, in the Cree language it's mamo kamatuk, work together. And I'm inviting all of you you know, to work with us, to walk with us, because this is a great country, and it's ours to build. Now,